Let's jump into extensions. So extensions are like one of the unique features of Visual Studio Code, and they give you a lot of more enhancements, which other text editors like Sublime or Vim might not. And extensions are really like handy. It's like Visual Studio Code is just the bare bones tool that you get, which is super powerful in its own self, but extensions just make it adaptable to any situation and any project. So let's jump in. So the first thing we want to check out is how you browse for them, right? So what you do is you click on this icon here, and this is the default view you'll get, right? So let's see some of the more popular ones. So just click on these dots here and say show popular extensions. You'll see a lot of the popular and trending extensions going on right now. In each extension, if you go to the details, so let's say we're talking about this one, or let's talk about Python, since it seems to be the most popular one right now. You get a basic one-line description here, and we'll jump into the different facets of it. So you have contributions, right? So contributions are the like the additions you're making to Visual Studio Code, like to the settings or shortcuts, because of this new extension that you're going to install. Changelog is it has all the like changes which have got made in this. In this case, let's say in this edition, right? You see the fixes which have got included on different days, kind of like a commit history. And dependencies. This one doesn't have dependencies. Let me pull up one which does. Um, I think I know. I think Debugger for Java did, as we saw earlier. Yeah. So this has got dependencies. So when you've got dependencies on some uh, other extension, the dependencies will show up. Now let's say you want to install something, right? It's pretty straightforward. Just hit install. Usually you need to reload after the install. So the installation takes a few minutes. This is installed, right? So reload is nothing but restarting the Visual Studio platform. You don't need to do this for every extension, but sometimes you need it. Yeah. So let me show you an example of a reload. So one second. Let me go to my installed extensions, right? So if I disable something and I want to enable it again, oh well, not this one. My bad. You can see that this extension, the C++ one, it needs a reload when I've disabled it. So I just reload required, reload it, platform reloads, and the extension is fine. So occasionally you need to do that. If an extension isn't working, I have had to restart Visual Studio sometimes, and then it starts working. So reload or restart Visual Studio once in a while you need it. Normally things just work seamlessly. Yep. So let's just go over what we had in the options, right? So you can see all your installed extensions, see the outdated ones, as well as see what's enabled, disabled, built-in, recommended, popular extensions. And you can even disable all of them and enable all of them if you want to go back to bare bones Visual Studio. I don't know why you would want to do that, but in case you decide to go crazy. So searching for extensions is pretty easy. Just type in a keyword here, any substring. So for example, C will get you all C related extensions, right? And you can see all your currently installed ones, and then you can even uninstall them. It's pretty easy. So let's say I want to uninstall this, right? Just click on uninstall, super simple. If you want to disable, right, just hit disable. So you don't permanently remove it, but temporarily just disable the extension. Then you can enable it again really easily. So one more thing is Visual Studio is always checking for updates and will keep installing them unless you specifically go into settings and change it, which is pretty handy. I don't usually disable that feature. And in case you have disabled it, you can go into updating them manually, but I'd honestly just suggest you leave it to auto update. Yep.